Yeah, welcome back to the Klyph Notes podcast. Available everywhere you get your podcasts. Thank you so much for tapping in. And I'm trying to be on my situation like I'm supposed to now. So make sure that you subscribe, like, rate, share, comment, the whole nine as we continue to try to grow this situation, man. Hey, yo, this episode is cool. I had a chance to chop it up with the homie Vinnie Dewayne, and we hadn't really talked in a minute. And this episode is literally what I describe Klyph Notes as being, man. It was literally an opportunity for us to sit down and have a conversation that just happened to be microphones in the room. And so it has a really dope feel to it. But also this time there was cameras in the room. So if you haven't yet, also subscribe to Klyph Notes on YouTube, and you get a chance to see the conversation that I had with Vinnie Dewayne, man. It was a really great conversation, man. We get into all kinds of stuff. Obviously, we talk about music, but we get into depth, man. We talk about life. We talk about changes. We talk about just a lot of stuff. So now I'm not one to, if you listen to my episodes, I don't do a bunch of editing. I don't change a lot of stuff. So you're definitely gonna hear that. But the other thing that you're gonna hear is you're gonna hear that the audio on this one is not what you're used to from Klyph Notes. And so this is not necessarily an apology, but just to pre-warn you that this one may not be to the and no fault of Vinnie, man. This is on me, bro. And you'll get to hear, we talk about it specifically in the conversation. This is the first time that I use this particular setup. So it's just gonna sound different, but you'll definitely dig the conversation. The content is amazing. And again, not because of me, but because of Vinnie. So really take some time and sit back and enjoy this in-depth conversation with my guy, Vinnie Dewayne, on this latest episode of the Klyph Notes podcast. Support for the Klyph Notes podcast comes from Akepele Apparel, an idea born from a love of hip-hop, funk, and soul music and its surrounding cultures. With fashion being a huge visual part of the cultures, they've created expressive images to pay homage, invoke nostalgia, and showcase the elements that make up the lifestyle and cultures of these genres. Akepele, apparel for the music lifestyle. For more information, check out akepele.com. That's AKEPELE.com. You know what I mean? So what up, y'all? It's your guy DJ Klyph. And you see who it is. It's the man Vinnie Dewayne in the PDX. We live at the Numberz. This is the Numberz radio station. So if you listen to any of the podcasts, I often talk about the Numberz. I haven't really had a chance to show y'all this, but shout out to my guy DJ Ambush, executive director of the Numberz, for the Numberz. If you follow Ambush, then all of this stuff is you know what this is, man. Ambush be collecting off camera right now. One day I'm gonna get him on camera, but off camera right now, my guy Caso De Niro is over there putting in work. But yeah, man, here we are with the homie Vinnie. It's been a minute since we had a chance to sit and chop it up, bruh.
Yeah, it's probably been maybe 3 years, two or 3 years or something like that.
Man, a lot has changed, a lot to get caught up on. Yeah. But just off top, man, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm in a good space. Just trying to work, man. Just trying to edit and serve my community and worship God. That's pretty much where I'm at.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Two of the things I absolutely wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah.
So you started off with saying that, man, edit. Let's talk about Vinnie Dewayne, the content creator. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You have been literally putting in work, man. You showed off the plaque, the whole man. How did you even decide to go that direction in terms of creating content like that, video content?
It was a thing where I'm kind of into the whole watch reaction videos and just hear somebody else's perspective. And I used to shame that, and I used to call them call those dudes corny on YouTube and stuff like that. And then I was like, man, I could be just as corny as them. You know what I'm saying? I'm corny and goofy, and I'm always joking all the time. And and it's interesting because in real life, people I have genuine relationships with people, and we talk about stuff, and we go into depth of it. And I have like a lot of friends like that, and I just started realizing like my rap side is just one side of who Vinnie is. You know what I'm saying? It's like I was selling myself short just trying to rap. I think now you have to be very arrogant if you think rap is all you come to the table with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's so many pieces to it that you just gotta fill out all of those pieces of who you actually are. You know what I'm saying? And put your personality out there like as best as you know what I'm saying, as best as you can. And I was like, well, I could do the YouTube thing and, you know, try to grow a following just based off of my perspectives. And, you know, I think a lot of it plays into it. Like I was working with the kids, like, you know, you have to show up a certain way from them. You have to talk in front of a class. You got to, like, you know what I'm saying, you got to give instructions. So it's like, that's kind of what YouTube is. It's like stopping the video, talking about, like, something that happens in the video. And, you know, I just thought, like, maybe I could just, and people were looking at me very crazy at first. Like, like people didn't know how to take it. They were like, bro, like, I have a word for it. I was like, yo, Vinny's fucking going crazy, just talking to herself. And, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I was like, man, bro, I just got to do something to go very hard at it. Because rap, I'm not one of those artists that's able to just make a song 10 songs a day, 5 songs a day, 2 songs a day. I take a song, I sit with it. Sometimes I could write it in fucking 30 seconds and it's there, you know what I'm saying? Like 2 minutes, I could write it in like, I could freestyle it, I could go into the booth. It just like, it's straight off. But then like for like projects and albums, I take time with beats and I sit down and I like live with the beats for like days and, you know, I form, and then all my music is about my real life, real stories. So it's like, it takes a long time to like produce music for the type of artist that I am. And there's artists that are like that, like J. Cole isn't rapid with his releases, Kendrick isn't rapid, you know what I'm saying? Now if I had the luxury of like a label or support system where I could take long breaks and then put out projects, you know what I'm saying, then maybe I would do that. I would just stick to rap. But I don't have that, and so I just noticed making reaction videos is cheap, you know what I'm saying? There's no money. You could just sit there and record yourself talk. You know what I'm saying? That's free. Do it 10 times a day. And that's why I was like, let me just do this. Let me just see what it does. Because I think if I honestly was one of those rappers where I could drop a song every week, you know what I'm saying, for a year straight, then I think music would have taken off a lot faster.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because I can remember talking to creators, talking to MCs, to rappers in particular, and folk would tell me there was a certain pressure to release music that way. Like you just got to keep putting content out because there's so much that's coming out. You got to stay on people's radar. And so there was a certain pressure that was associated with that, which I get and I understand, but I also think that when you're putting content out there that way, you're there's two things. One, you're balancing that you're not oversaturating the market, but then also I do question the quality of what you're putting out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that there is something to be, I mean, just look historically, there's something to be said when you take your time, when you're creating art, when you take your time and putting together this, I mean, what are you playing, a long game or a short game? You know what I mean? Do you just want to get likes or do you want people to, 5 years from now pull out that record because it sat with, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I can definitely understand what you're saying. The other thing that I think is cool is that as you move through life and have more life experiences, coming to the realization that you just described, that like I am not just this singular part of who I am. Like this is just a part of who I am. And I have the avenues now to let people in and to see and to let people see more of me.
Yeah.
And I think there's a certain vulnerability that comes from that, right?
Yeah. No.
Because certain people know like Vinnie Dewayne, the MC on record, but then for you to let people in, was that like, did you even think about it that way in terms of being vulnerable that way?
Yeah, I did think about it that way. I didn't so I think that I'm just so open. Like it's like I'm open, but I'm not open at the same time. But I just want to be okay and comfortable with like showing exactly who I am.
Yeah.
Not having to pretend like it's better than what it is. Like I think it's a lot of cap that goes on the internet. Like, but I just thought it was I wanted to go into it like, this is my true self. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And let it all, like, see where it goes from there.
That's what's up, bro. So what's the thing that, or is there a thing that has surprised you the most about being on this journey in terms of being a video content creator? Something that, you didn't expect. See, yeah, that's why y'all listen to these interviews, because I be asking the real questions.
You know, you ask real questions. Yeah, like, that's real. That is a real question.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily feel as good as maybe I expected it to feel. I mean, I think I just respect the hustle of it, like the editing, like I was telling you, like when I had first started and started like figuring like how to make the algorithm tick, I was like, oh shit, Klyph already does all this stuff. So it's like that's what's hitting me the most. It's like I'd rather, like, I'm working on a channel, like I'm working on somebody else's channel right now actually. He's paying me to like edit his videos and upload his content. It's like a restaurant. He's a chef restaurant.
Yeah.
He's not promoting his channel yet, but so I'm not gonna say the name. But I just respect the whole the editing side to it, and like helping him upload his shorts and seeing him with like 1 subscriber go to 70 subscribers just because the algorithm chose to push his video out and stuff like that.
Right.
And I didn't know that I was gonna fall in love with that side of it. I think I do like being off camera more than being on camera.
Yeah, bro. I'm a definitely.
Do you like being on or off camera?
It's kind of funny, bro, because I think it depends on the circumstances and the situation. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm doing something that's a part of DJ Klyph Productions, if I'm on stage, if whatever, if I'm on the air, if I'm doing something like this, I'm definitely cool with it. But if it's not that, and I'm in the space, then I'm 100% play the background.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm literally on the back wall, just, it's not my space. So, but I've done it long enough. I think I've gotten very comfortable with being in it. But the cool thing for me is like the conversations that we've had. Like, I'm definitely gonna be at you, bro, because for me it was just, I just started creating stuff and putting it out there. And as this whole, like when I started doing podcasting wasn't everybody got a podcast now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like people who have big platforms, whether they be like, musicians or actors or political figures who have a platform, they started podcasts. Right. When I was doing podcasting, when I first started doing podcasting, I wasn't doing podcasting. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just had to get up on guitar, bro.
So, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I got all this content, but I need to learn. I need to get with you and be like, all right, Vinny, like how do I make that next move? Right. Which I love that you're that you feel you found a space there. Right. To help guide and.
Yep. Yeah. No, we're gonna definitely do that 1,000%.
That's what's up, bro.
How many interviews do you think you've done?
I just really for the Klyph Notes podcast, I just released like my 152nd.
All just different artists, all different people, all different from walks of life, all that shit.
Yep.
There's so much.
Yeah, and then for the radios, I can't even count because I'm like.
Because you literally live in this space.
Yep.
Like that's what I'm saying, bro. Like that's why.
Yeah. But it's been, it's been really, really cool because of what's come from it. You know what I mean? When I think about, like, my connection with you came from me being on the radio, learning who you were, being like, yo, I have this platform. I want to share this platform. You learning who I am. And then just like over the years, us just building to the place like now where, so when I look back over time and think, so all of those interviews are just examples of, for me, examples of community, examples of like real relationships.
Right. No, that's facts.
Which is, to me, that's the beauty in it. To me, that's where the real value comes from.
That's real.
Sort of on that note, you're moving into this content creator world. You're finding this sort of joy being behind the camera. But what does that mean for you being behind the microphone?
Um, I don't.
And this is a question for today. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that I've also learned, bruh. Where I am today and my opinions today and the way I feel about things today, that doesn't mean that doesn't change tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But just in terms of
No,
where you
you're
are
absolutely
today.
right, because I went back and I watched our last interview we did together, and boy, do I have a few things to apologize about.
Oh my gosh. Confessions, yo. Confessions.
Bro, I'm sitting there with the whiskey in my head. But yeah, even though everything I said was like straight from my heart, you know what I'm saying, straight off the chest, it was raw.
Yeah.
It's just, I just don't want to put nobody down, you know what I'm saying? Like, even with the whole Mike Bogan thing, it's like, that has to come to an end on my end, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want to put that message out there. We've grown up, you know what I'm saying? I just like, me coming back to Portland, and then going to, you know, just going on the music scene and going to Wynn's party, and then my guys, like some altercation happens, and we take him to the hospital, you know what I'm saying, and he didn't make it, you know what I'm saying, we drove him there. It's like, it's like now it feels like it's just like a dark cloud following Vinnie around, where if he goes somewhere, then some shit is gonna happen. It's like, and it literally don't even be that, you know what I'm saying, it's just sometimes situations happen, and I don't want to like move like that, because I just want to put love out there. You know what I'm saying? Like that moment.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, bro, because and this is a sincere question of, like, I truly don't know, right? So, all of my interactions with you, all the conversations that we've had, I know of discord. I know of disagreement. I know of, people really feeling angry about certain situations, but I've never, like in, like I'm a big energy guy. You know what I mean? And I have never felt that energy when I'm in your presence.
Right.
Do you feel like that negativity comes from people who are trying to prove something to you?
Yeah, that's probably what it is, because it's never, even though it does stand on like, it does stand on loyalty, on like, I don't know what it stands on, but yeah, pretty much. I don't know, man. Or maybe because I'm from North Portland, and people move like a unit out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it's me or the North. You know what I'm saying? Because I just represent the North. I'm like, but I represent like Portland. I love Portland, like Northeast. Like, I just made a tweet the other day. I was like, bro, I got love for the Northeast. Like, it's not no separation type thing. It's just like, you know how, you know what I'm saying, East Oakland, you know what I'm saying, like, people support their boroughs and shit. But it's like, so yeah, to answer your question, it's like, yes. Do you think that's what it is? Like, that's a good question.
So you're on a from the outside looking in, just as an observer, you seem to be in a very different space.
Yeah, no, definitely, like, definitely. That night with my friend Nick Bezos, he's on a song with me called Huddle Up. I'm featuring him on it, you know what I'm saying? It just changed me, man. Like, I don't ever, like, it's crazy. It's crazy seeing something like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't see the altercation. I saw, like, him on the ground and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And taking him to the hospital in the car, and us, like, being frantic about it and not knowing what was going on, and, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I gotta do something. Like, I gotta change something. I gotta, it's bigger than just me. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I got into, like, I've always kind of gone to the mosque with my Muslim homies in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
They're from like Pakistan and South Asia. And, I used to go with their families to the mosque and stuff, and I used to just like going. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It felt good. You know what I'm saying? I was a born Jehovah's Witness, but that was a little bit too strict.
Yeah.
So it's bigger than us, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's bigger than us. Like it's it feels so much better waking up and thinking about God versus thinking about who's liking my posts on Instagram.
Yeah.
It feels so much better.
Yeah.
To like really submit and do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It feels good to pray for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff is like real.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's crazy. It's crazy because there's this guy named it's not my business to tell this.
Yeah.
But I look up to a guy that was like, I knew him when, like, he was like a basketball coach when we was in middle school, but then he just left instantly. Then my next view of him was him just this huge trap star, pretty much, making all this money, bringing all this money. And then later on in life, I saw him. He's probably like maybe like 40 or something. Later on in life, I talked to him, and he's like a preacher or something like that. Or like he just, you know, he just went to God. And I was always wondering, like, why would he ever go from all this money to, you know what I'm saying, just straight church God.
Yeah.
And it's like, I realized that he's probably seen something, like having all this stuff probably means nothing. Like having like peace and like just being in a good, healthy mental space is probably more than all this flashy stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like he probably ran through that. Like I haven't talked to him about it, but he probably ran into that and realized like nothing matters besides God.
Yeah. So forgive my ignorance and in terms of the verbiage and the terminology, but I saw that you shared with your followers that you went through a process in terms of your faith, and there was like a public declaration of. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was a shahada. I took my shahada. That's like converting to Islam.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know it was gonna be like that. I didn't plan that either for content. I had no clue like people were gonna be recording. It was gonna be that big. It was gonna be like people watching. I had no idea. I said, okay, I'll come take my shahada. I didn't know it was gonna be like. A lot of people's aren't big like that. A lot of people like convert, and it's not a public thing. But so many people are like taking videos of it, and like it just felt so good, bro.
Yeah.
But I didn't go into it like I'm gonna record this.
Right.
But that's something I would do, so it kind of looks like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the timing of where you are again in your process of sharing more of who you are and sharing your life. I mean, it's definitely cool, and I think it's cool for people to see. When we talk about some of the things that we've talked about in terms of the path that you've walked and people who have been influenced by that path, for them to see you there in the space that you're in right now. I mean, how powerful is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's cool, and that's why I want to support like as much as I can, and not be the people that didn't reach back out or like because that's happened to me so much. Where it's like I just want some advice, like I just like some mentorship, like show me how you did this shit, and that's like I want to be the opposite of that, because it's really like nobody's gonna be too big to do anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody's too big to do anything. Like humble yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or, like. Help people. If you bring people up with you, then what's that Jay-Z line where he was like the crutches line where he was like if I go down, my brothers. What's that Jay-Z line where he was talking about the crutches? Like if we all making money, then I can lean on my brother as a crutch or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So like that's how I look at it. It's like ain't nobody too good for nothing.
Absolutely.
Because I see it all the time. People like get some type of like clout and then separate themselves from crews. It's like, man. And then when you do get all that success and you're on, now you got to maintain it, and that's hard. And then once you fall off, now it's very hard to get back on. So it's like treat people good. Like don't treat people like you're too good for nothing, because it's like you could be down, and 2 weeks after your virality is over. So it's like, just be real with people. All of this stuff is a facade. Like, it's all a facade. So
I love that, bro. I mean, and I agree. At the end of the day, just be a good person. You know what I mean? That outlasts whatever shine you have right now, man. Just be a good person, and you never know. You know that old saying, the people that the people you pass on your way up are the same people who you're gonna pass during the fall. You know.
Facts.
So no, I love that, and I think that if we can, I agree. If we can continue to put that energy out there, put that message out there, we can change, bro. We can change our environments. We can change what's popular. We can change, what people aspire to be and what people aspire to do. If we take advantage of the platforms that we have to put that message out there, especially coming from someone like yourself who's in a position where people look up to you, for what you've been able to do, for you to be able to put that vibe out there, to put that energy out there, man. You can change the world, B.
Yeah, facts. Yep.
Okay, so this is once again, it's so dope to be able to be in this space. So behind the scenes, the first time I'm doing this very specific setup with the technology that I'm using right now. Someone's just bugging me, bro. We got to flip your microphone around.
Oh, shit.
I got to make sure, and that's on me, bro. So if you just slide that and then flip that like that.
Is that the mic? Oh,
Yeah.
Dang, I should have looked at it.
Nah, that's on me, bro. But these joints are supposed to be like super, There we go. Nah, no, we get.
Is it still on?
Yeah, it's still on. It's still on. Yeah. So in terms of.
Dang, it's probably gonna sound way more clear now.
Yeah, absolutely. They're gonna be like, dang, he all up on the mic now.
Yeah.
So you're back here in Portland. You're here for a minute. Can you talk about why you're here right now?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. They're doing a really good job promoting this show tomorrow. Tego, Northside Tego, artist from North Portland, his brother Vari, Organic Vari. They have a show. I don't know if it's Tego's first headlining show, but they have a show at the Roseland. And Tego's and his brother Vari has been doing a good job at like displaying the North, how like the North actually is, you know what I'm saying? I just want to support that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I just want to be there to support that because they're doing a good job at it, you know what I'm saying? And I hope they take it very far, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to be there. Snugs is going to be performing. It's going to be tight.
Word.
Yeah.
So that make
P Hyph is going to be performing. Yeah. We're both special guests, me and P Hyph.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So you say something that harken back to something you said earlier, like being in a place where, you could have used mentorship or had somebody there to ask questions. Now that you're in that position, and somebody who has, released music, somebody who has blessed stages, somebody who's who's been there, and then to be in this position now to show support, like tangible support.
Yeah.
That's got to feel. I don't know. It seems to me like that would feel pretty good.
Yeah, it's tight. Yeah, it's tight.
Yeah. From being away from it now for a minute and being able to look at Portland, specifically the music scene, specifically in this year. Like I'm so celebrating. I'm so celebrating this year, 50 years of hip hop. I be talking to people about it, like at work, like on my 9 to 5. People have nothing about hip hop. I'm like, yo, you know what this year is? You know what I mean?
That's wild.
Does that have you given that any thought? Does it resonate with you on your
50 years of hip hop?
Yeah.
What do I think about when I hear 50 years of hip hop? When I think about 50 years of hip hop, the first thing I think about is how much. Help me like try to word this.
Mm-hmm.
So when I think about 50 years of hip hop, the first thing I think about is like it's kind of a negative thing. Like
okay.
It's like how much money was stolen from artists, you know what I'm saying, from these big corporations, you know what I'm saying, and how we've had to like get through that and still, be here to celebrate, you know what I'm saying? That's what I first think about. It's like, damn, like motherfuckers, a lot of people got done wrong in these contracts. But we still standing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And and we're changing the game now to the point where it's like what Jay-Z was doing, Rockefeller, everybody's doing now. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are putting up their own money and doing it themselves.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't, and a lot of people are still under these contracts. Another thing I think about it when I hear 50 years of hip hop is like making sure that you. So when DJ Academics went at and LL Cool J was getting into it,
Yeah.
it was because Academics was like he pretty much was calling like all the old guys like dusty now, and they were taken advantage of when they were in labels and like I think that's what he was saying, right? Or he was like that was along the lines, but LL Cool J was just like came out and was like, yo, put some respect on, you know, the legends, you know what I'm saying? It's like have some sympathy for like the situations that people were in when they signed those deals and needed a way out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I think about when I think of 50 years of hip hop. Like, damn. What do you think about when you think about 50 years of hip hop?
It's funny for me because I am, you know, I was around at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm blessed to have. That's why I'll be wearing my wisdom out now. You know what I mean? I ain't even trying to hide it.
Yeah, that's tight.
So I remember, I be telling this story all the time, bruh. I remember when black radio wouldn't play rap music. You know what I'm saying? We ain't playing that, you know? It was soul, R&B, jazz, gospel. On black radio, that's all you was gonna hear. And then I can remember the next phase, all right, well, we'll give y'all Saturday nights. And so I would stay up, because I was born in Jersey, so I can remember staying up and listening to Mr. Magic and Molly Mall and, you know, late nights, just trying to, you know what I mean? To now, where in terms of rap music, the biggest genre of music worldwide. And so I've had an opportunity to see that. And so I love and appreciate it, but I also feel like there was a moment where I feel like it was perfect, where the world recognized it as an art form, but it hadn't gone commercial yet.
And when was that?
That was probably, to me, during the 90s. During the 90s, where you started to see the acceptance, I think, to me, came when you started to see a lot of crossover, right? And so then you started seeing MCs on R&B singer records, and then rappers would get a R&B singer on their records, and so those who listen to R&B were like, oh, I love this artist, oh, they got this rapper on there, and then I kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? So you started seeing that crossover, and so then the record labels said, well, yeah, let's make money. The interesting thing about what you mentioned is that story, unfortunately, is not specific to rap music, because you listen to a lot of the old heads who were in rock and roll, same story.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Get taken advantage of.
You know? And some of it is just simply a lack of knowledge, which in this day and age, in the information age, we have more knowledge, and so people can navigate around that. But the other thing that I think about with hip hop is, and I try to always remember, is rap is a part of hip hop, but there's also the visual part of it. And so I don't really know a lot about graph writers, but I do appreciate the beauty of that art form and then the movement. You know what I mean? And right. I'm the first one to admit I can't dance, but I love to watch break dancers and what they do. You know what I'm saying? And then the art of DJing, and then knowledge. You know what I mean? And so when I think of hip hop, I think of it all encompassing, and how some of those other elements of it don't necessarily get celebrated and pushed to the forefront. And wanting to be sure that, because I think if all of those elements were celebrated to a greater degree, I think the beauty of it would stand out more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I also think about, as a black man, and I think about our culture and our history as black people on the earth, the idea of storytelling, that's how historically, that's how we kept our legacies alive, is we would sit around and tell stories. And I think that rap was a part, it came out of that. That's why we celebrate Slick Rick, one of the greatest storytellers ever. You know, that's a part of our history. It's part of our culture. And that's why I appreciate lyricism so much, because again, that's a part of our culture. That's what we, you know what I mean? So I celebrate a lot of it. I love a lot of it. There's a lot of negativity and a lot of sadness associated with it. But, you know, I think we still have the ability to, for the next generation, for however long this planet lasts, man, for the next generation to help them see the beauty in what this is. It's more than, let me just try to make $1. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
It's about, you know, that's one of the things that I appreciate that came out of Zulu, man. It's about peace, love, unity, and having fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Thanks. You want to know who one of my favorite storytellers, rappers is? Like probably my number one favorite is DJ Klyph and the Fresh Prince.
Bruh.
I could literally rap every single lyric on all Fresh Prince. Now, Fresh Prince and Will Smith, those are two different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, so, growing up Jehovah's Witness, my mom didn't let me listen to music with cuss words in it.
Yeah.
So all I had was Fresh Prince. So I like mastered, like, just all like that Red album, DJ Klyph and the Fresh Prince. Like parents just don't understand. Like, girls ain't nothing but trouble.
Right.
Like, but why was Will Smith, like, why didn't people like Will Smith around that time? Like why was he perceived as corny? Like, I don't understand it. I never understood it.
A lot of it was because of when he came out. So when the Fresh Prince came out, there was also a greater movement of more street rap.
Yeah. You know
what I'm saying? And that's kind of what was coming on the scene. Yeah. And so people were like, man, who is this cornball dude? Yeah. You know? It's funny because I came up in a fairly religious household as well, Seventh-day Adventist. And
oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? So similar sort of concept of being very biblically focused and this, that, and the third. And I like the Fresh Prince, love Jazzy Jeff, bro. Just what, you know, just sonically what I would hear. But then you also had, I mean, you know, you had what Run DMC were doing, you had what Rakim and Big Daddy Kane was doing, and there was such a flavor to what they did that, and to be honest with you, bro, I think there's also a little bit of that competition. You know, Fresh Prince came on the scene and everybody was loving him. It's like, come on, bro, you know, pump the brakes a little bit, young blood. So I think some of it was just that.
Yeah.
I think some of it was just that.
And I could hear a lot of the influence he was pulling his styles from.
Yeah.
Like some of his songs were literally like Summertime would literally be like a Rakim joint. You know
so you know the story behind that? Or one of the stories behind that.
No.
So
there's a connection there?
Well, not necessarily a connection, but like, so he was from what I understand, he did write that style sort of as an ode to Rakim. Maybe not an ode to Rakim, but yeah, being influenced by him. And Rakim
I didn't know that. I'm literally just saying that on some like, it sounded like him.
Yeah, and so people were like, oh, Rakim must have wrote that for the Fresh Prince because it sounds so much like him. And Rakim was like, nah, I didn't. And from what I understand, was kind of feeling some kind of way, like, why you biting my style? Because that came out in a time where biting was a real thing. Like, you got to be creative. You like, this is my style. You got your style. Don't bite my style. So that's, you know, that was for many people thought that Rakim penned that verse for Will Smith.
That's wild.
Yep.
That's wild. Yeah.
Yep.
That's wild. I didn't know that. I thought maybe he would have felt some type of way about that. Like maybe like, you know what I'm saying? And then like even Slick Rick, I wonder if Slick Rick feels some type of way because he literally. But Will Smith, his storytelling is so funny. It's so like, you know what I'm saying? Like how could you be mad at it? You know what I'm saying? He's just soaking up what he learned.
Yeah. Yeah, and
his book was amazing. Like I read his book.
I never read it.
He breaks down how he met DJ Klyph and how he wasn't supposed to be DJ Klyph's artist at first, but he showed up to the occasion when the opportunity was there, and then that's how they linked. There was a show where DJ Klyph's artist didn't show up, and Will Smith was there, so he rocked the crowd. And ever since then, he studied Jazzy Jeff and noticed how like he was like obsessed with just the DJing and like all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he admired it so much that they just took it on together.
Yeah.
And Yeah.
But the lesson in that, bro, like always be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You never know when the opportunity is going to present itself.
Facts.
And just be in the space and have good energy.
Right.
Gotta have good energy.
Yeah.
Who is your, like right now, who are you listening to?
I like I'm weird, man. I like I like Kodak Black. I like Kodak Black. I like Young M.A.
Okay.
I like Nipsey Hussle. I like Kevin Gates. Who am I listening to right now in this very moment?
So on that, speaking of Young M.A.,
I think she's top 10 rappers of all time.
I was gonna say I've come to appreciate her style. I never really listened to her a lot, and she released, I think she maybe released a song 2-3 years ago, and I was like, yo, I really dig her style. But then I understand, is she ill? Cause she stepped away from the scene for a minute.
I think it's a rehab thing.
Oh, got you. Okay. Well, positive vibes out to Young M.A., bro.
Shout out to Young M.A.
Yeah. It's funny, bro, because I've been really, really on my old school for so long. It's weird, B. That's one of the things that happened starting to do radio in Portland, specifically with the focus of trying to support Portland scene. That's like for a long, that's all I would listen to. So new artists would come out, and I was so engrossed in the Portland scene, I wouldn't even be on a lot of the. And you do that for a decade, and you realize like there's just a lot of music out there I'm just like oblivious to.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to start listening to more artists. And shout out to Jedi. I saw Jedi at a show. You know how Spotify did that thing, like these are the songs that you listen to, and they would do like the festival of all of your, like the mock-up festival flyer. And so I posted that, and Jedi was like, yeah, man, I saw that you posted that, and I noticed that like all of the artists on your festival flyer are all like old school artists. I was like, yeah, I guess I should probably start listening to some just some more.
He said that artists. In your comments?
Yeah. No, like to me, like we was at an event.
I was like, damn.
And I was like, well, all right, nah, you ain't lying. But you know.
But what like was it old school artists like old school Portland artists or old school artists?
Artists. Okay. Yeah. So I mean that's what I told you, is like I'm at a place in my life too where I realize my lane. You know what I mean? And I can't front. You know, so if you're an artist from the golden era,
that's what it is.
You definitely on my playlist. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why you should come to No Requests every fourth Sunday, because you know me and DJ Ambush bring you nothing but golden era. Nah,
that's tight.
Shameless plug. So in terms of following the journey and people kind of being tapped into what you're doing, the things that you want people to tap into, like what does that look like for you right now?
The things I want people to tap into regarding me.
Regarding you, but then also things that you feel like, yo, like this is something that I think that everybody should just be mindful of. Like you was breaking all kind. You and Alex both breaking all kind of stuff down, you know, in terms of the whole AI thing. And I'm like, but just, you know, what should people be paying attention to from the Vinnie camp?
I seen this interview with Charlamagne the God and the Breakfast Club, actually, and they were going in like just on AI and how like, and shout out to Charlamagne the God, you know what I'm saying? But they were going in on AI and they were saying like how it's gonna like pretty much ruin society. People aren't gonna like people are gonna lose jobs. People are gonna not write their own music, not be creative. And although that's all true, like that would, like if that's what it was for, even though that's true, I also think that you should also take into consideration that these corporations are also using AI against us. And so now that we have the tools to like, you know, communicate like bots pretty much, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is it such a bad thing? Why is it being looked at as bad? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, it could yeah, it could ruin a bunch of stuff, but like ride it, you know what I'm saying, as much as you can, because it's not gonna go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what I would say. Like that would be like, because people were calling in and giving their opinion, like, you guys are right, and this. There was one guy that called in and was like, he was like, I love AI, man. I just wrote a poem with that motherfucker. And I'm like, why would you say that? I'm like, that's exactly what not to say.
Right, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah,
prove their point,
come
man.
Come on, bro. You can't be. You gotta know your audit, bro.
Right.
That's sad.
But to use AI to communicate with the algorithm, I think is brilliant, because now we're dealing with so when you get on Facebook, everything you post, they're using the algorithm to like collect data and like, market advertisements to you.
Right.
Like, that's all AI. They're just studying like what you post, and they're putting you into this little pool of this little audience. I mean, like a certain demographic that might be interested in this ad or whatever to sell their products. They're using AI to do that. You know what I'm saying? They're so to know how to speak the language like they're doing it to push your own content, I think that's how you use it, and that's like you don't let it create for you. I ain't gonna lie. One time I did tell ChatGPT to write a YouTube script about like a situation that happened and shit, and I switched it up. I said, write it like a character from Boys in the Hood, and then I like low key I tried to do it, but then it didn't feel right, so I just didn't do it. You know what I'm saying?
What?
I know. I didn't do it.
That's crazy,
but
bro.
Look, you never know.
Right? right? Mm-hmm.
But it's getting so good that it's like, it's sad that that's actually a thing. Like, you never know.
Yeah.
But people that know me is like, they know me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and they'll know if I'm reading off a script. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
It is interesting that you break it down like that, because you're right. Even though it's sort of the topic of the day, AI has been around for a minute, right? And I think thinking about ads and how we're influenced and impacted by social media, just the things that we see, like that's been the case.
Yeah.
But now that everybody has access to it, but the other interesting thing, bro, like as I sit here in this moment, the thing that I think about, I really feel like social media makes a lot of people dumb. I feel like it's just made a lot of people super lazy. I think the internet has, and you make a great point. Just because it exists, you can go one or two ways. You can put some effort into learning it to learn how to maximize it, or you can be lazy. Yeah. And I think that the whole, all of these years of creating a bunch of sheep, ain't a lot of people gonna really take the time to say, okay, let me put in the work, let me do some research, let me, and then, the cream always rises to the top, like that's cliche-ish, but history proves that. Those who are willing to really figure it out and learn it and make it work for them, anything that comes from that is going to be the stuff that stands the test of time, right?
Right. No, that's facts. That's facts. The part that it makes me a little uncomfortable is like the whole, it could replicate your voice. That's what makes me uncomfortable. Because now now you can make somebody say some wild stuff, like say like a parent calls the school and or a kid calls the school pretending to be their parent. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, my kid can't come to school today. The kid, you know what I'm saying? It's like there's ways people are gonna be able to finesse this thing where it's like it's gonna be dangerous, or like, you know what I'm saying, getting a boss losing his job because somebody is a mad employee made a voicemail, fake voicemail, pretty much saying some like inappropriate stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's ways to use it that could be damaging. So it's like, how are we gonna figure out? Like kids were writing essays in college. Like, how are we gonna navigate that,
bro? So two things. One, someone told me this, and I used to say, believe half of what you see, none of what you hear. But with AI, now I say, believe none of what you see, none of what you hear. You feel me? Someone told me that already people are using AI to like in dangerous situations, like getting on social media, capturing the voice of a kid, using that, flipping it, calling the parent, mommy, help me, they got me, and then get on the phone like, we got your kid.
This is a thing that's just happened.
Yeah. This is what somebody said. But bro, prior to what's happening right now, I'm gonna tell you the thing that like that made me worry. So remember when the Tom Cruise, what they call it, the deep fake stuff was happening? You know what that is? So there was the one that I saw two of them. This one dude kind of favored Tom Cruise, I guess, and then used some video software, and they put Tom Cruise's face on this dude, and the dude, like, he would just make expressions like mimicking Tom Cruise, but the way that they did the video, it literally looked like Tom Cruise was doing it. And then another one I saw, they did the same thing with President Barack Obama, where they took his face and put it on somebody else's, and it looked like him. So when I first saw that, I was like, that's not cool, because now you telling me you could get some security footage of somebody breaking into something, put my face on there. Yeah. Now, like you saying, plus you could add the voice situation.
Right.
Bro, what's to keep them from coming and knocking on your door saying, no, we got you on video doing dirt. You going to jail, sucker.
Damn.
You feel me?
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, no, that's wild.
So that's why I'm a man of faith. And I'd be like, yo, I'm leaving it.
Yeah, at the end of the day. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I think that you're right. Some checks and balances should be put in place. Although it's funny, I didn't get to watch the whole video. This dude said he went, because you was asking me if I knew about it. So it must have been the Chat GPT?
Yeah, probably, most likely. That's the most popular one.
Okay.
They're like remaking a bunch of them, but that one's the main one. So
this dude said he went to the AI and he was like, write a I guess it was a sermon about the end times, referencing the book of Revelation, right, in the Bible. So the thing, he started reading, I couldn't watch the whole thing. But it was like the way the book of Revelation says everybody's gonna be, even the very elect are gonna be deceived, and this, that, and the third, and how AI, even though it doesn't say AI, that AI could be that. Like, it just gets deep. Damn, bro.
That is deep.
You know what I mean? And then the worst thing is, you heard the dude who's like, bruh, I don't like human beings. I don't like the human race. Let me just put that out there.
Right, thanks.
This dude told AI, create a scenario to essentially destroy the human race. You heard about that? So AI, like, the computer went in and tried to access like government codes for like setting off the nuclear joints and couldn't do it. So it started talking to other computers. Like, why would you even do that?
That's scary.
Why would you even do that, bruh? People play too much. You know what I mean? But this is the planet we live on, man. This is we the highest whatever evolution species over animals and whatever. Nah, bro.
What's gonna get us first, AI or fentanyl?
Bro, you ain't joking. Bro, it was sad driving in here, bro.
Oh yeah, I've seen that too. I'm mind blown by all this.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm mind blown because I don't see this a lot either. Like the way Portland, like the homelessness out here is low key. Like, wow, it's like literally. I don't know if this is disrespectful to say, but it's like literally The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it makes me sad. I always say, but by the grace of God, there am I. But to see the open air, like, bro, I'm driving here to the spot, and there's fiends, like, just right there on the corner, bro. And I know that people are in dire straits, and we all have our vices, but it's.
I literally seen it all now because I seen this beautiful lady, like nice body, everything, holding a sign, like look like mid-20s. Yeah. I'm like, I've done seen it all now. Like, she had makeup on, it was fixed up. It was I was like, damn, that's wild.
Yeah, bro. It's tough too because being in Portland and seeing everything. You have people from outside of the city who call me and check on you like, yo, you good? Like, I just seen Portland on the news, bro. You good?
That's wild.
There's still a lot of beauty here, y'all. There's still a lot, but
it's affected me kind of like Chicago. It's affected me like Chicago because people in Portland hit me like all the time, like, yo, you're in Chicago, like number one murder capital, you know what I'm saying? But the part of Chicago that I live in and experience is like the most beautiful place on earth. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love the neighborhood I live in, you know what I'm saying? And I do go out south and out west sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, there's poverty out there, you know what I'm saying? I don't run into a lot of because I'm not in it, you know what I'm saying? So I don't run into nothing.
Right.
But it's like, I would say like maybe like 10-15% of Chicago is like what you hear on the news. But they promote it as this murder capital
That's what
city,
we do,
you
bro.
know what I'm saying? So now I'm looking at Portland like, oh my God, I keep hearing all this shit. Like, I'm scared to go home.
Right.
But it's like that thing. Now I'm here, and now that I'm where I'm hanging out, and like I'm noticing like, oh, it hasn't changed. It's like it's just they're highlighting a lot of the fuck shit that's going on.
Yeah.
But I think it is getting crazier though. Like, have you been hearing about some of these stories? Oh my God, there's a kid that like ran into some of his ops. This is in the north. He's like, he ran into, and it's crazy because when you drive through the north, it looks like this gentrified place, but it's like there's still like little pits of like just the north how it used to be. And a lot of my people are still out there, and they were telling me about this story where this kid was getting chased down by his ops or whatever, two other dudes, and they chased him into Safeway. And then the kid like ran through the aisles and shit, running through the Safeway. Like, imagine like picking up some turkey bacon and the kid is running frantically, getting chased down by two.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. So then the kid runs into the freezer and hides, and then the guys with the guns, they're like, where the fuck did he go? Like, they pretty much stand up Safeway. And then somebody got pointed outside. You know what I'm saying? Shout out the person that pointed outside.
Right. He ain't in here.
Right.
Yo, I seen him go that way, yo.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's a double-edged sword to that because they went out there and shot the bus up.
What?
Yes. Everybody's safe, but they're not driving through that area no more.
Right.
And the kid, I guess, like, he didn't freeze to death or anything like that, but he made it through that situation. Wow, who knows, man. I've been hearing some crazy stories in Portland, bro. And I think it's a younger generation. Like, I don't know if it's like my generation doing a lot of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think it's the kids. It's like, which is also sad. Like, some of my homies, they have like nephews and stuff that are in this shit, like for real. Like, I be hearing stories like, damn, I wasn't doing nothing like that when I was their age.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we was like we was just learning how to drink and like have sex. Like, 15, 16. Like, go to like little parties and stuff. And, like, talk to girls. We was learning all that stuff. These kids are learning. These kids know about guns, switches, Glocks. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of sad because it's like that's how they feel they have to protect themselves.
Bro, but that's, you know, I can remember when I was a kid, bro. I can remember my elders talking about, man, kids these days, they're growing up way too fast. And every generation, it seems to be even more of that, right? Where kids are seeing things and experiencing things and being involved in things that they shouldn't, and especially when their brains aren't developed enough to be able to navigate some of that. And so that's why you have, I think, young people who are just doing these things because they have access to stuff that they literally shouldn't have access to. Right. And to be honest with you, bro, and this is just me being on a little bit of a soapbox, we're doing it to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because we are creating a society where we're saying now, no, everybody should be able to do and say whatever they want, right? I should have the freedoms to do whatever, and whatever my belief systems are, whatever. Okay, yeah, no, we have to make sure that we're not, stepping on toes. And yes, everybody, bro, it's a slippery slope, bruh. It's There's rules in place for a reason, man. And I understand some of this comes from my spiritual heritage and my belief system and my faith that rules were created for a reason. Sometimes rules are created to protect ourselves from ourselves. And when you just take all of that away, come on, bruh.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously, again, coming up as a person of faith, I can see.
What religion did you?
Seventh-day Adventist.
Are you still?
I'm very careful in identifying as a Seventh-day Adventist, simply because I don't want to misrepresent Seventh-day Adventists. You know what I'm saying? Because if I do something,
that's so real.
You know what I mean? I don't want people to be like, oh, I thought you was.
No. Literally, that's so real, and I'm so glad you said that, because that was my whole train of thought on, like, that's why it took me so long to convert to Islam. Because I kept telling, like, the people that my Muslim friends that I'm not ready for that, and I'm not, like, in a space yet to like, you know what I'm saying, take on that responsibility and show up in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? But I still did it. They were teaching me that, like, it's okay to be imperfect. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. Like you're gonna make mistakes, but just the thought of you're gonna have that thought of it to remind yourself, like, yo, this is what you're striving to be. So don't keep making that same mistake.
Yeah.
So it's okay to go into it not fully ready. But then for me to say convert to Islam and then like Allah on my Instagram, and then 2 videos later post a video of a guy eating ass, talking about eating ass. It's kind of wild.
Right.
So that's so what you just said is exactly what I just went through. Like, damn, because my friend called me. He was like, yo, Vinny, your Instagram looks kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It says Allah right here. And then it's a guy. I asked a guy on the street, like, why is eating ass such a popular thing right now?
Right.
And he gives this long, funny answer.
Right.
But then it looks kind of crazy. So I respect you saying, like, I respect how you, like, that's tight.
Yeah.
This is what I learned, so I archived it.
No, but I think that's real, bro. And I come from, and I'm always very careful to say my interpretation of what I was being taught by my elders, right? And when I say my elders, I mean my parents, my aunts, my uncles, pastors. I had to come to a place in my life where I felt like I was failing at trying to be perfect, because my interpretation was that is what is expected of me when I put on the title of a particular religion. Like, you have to be perfect. And I don't think that the creator expects me to be perfect, because if I'm perfect, I don't need the creator. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fact.
And so for me, like, I believe a lot of the foundational, like, I believe that Saturday is the 7th day of the week and that Saturday is the Sabbath. I believe in one single God. But the thing that I don't believe is, I don't believe that any religion has it 100% clear. I think that we all come from one concept, and I think that over the years, people started to say, yes, I believe in that, except I just want to do this one other thing, and that created another religion. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And so that's why we have 40 million different religions, because we are fallible human beings, and we're selfish, and we want what we want. And that's why you can look at so many different religions, and there's all these there's commonalities, but this is a little bit different. So I say all that to say,
there's beauty in all religions.
100%, bro.
All religions,
100%. So that's where I'm at on my and bro, and I tell people all the time, I don't have it figured out. Like, I am literally on the journey.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to fulfill whatever role the creator has created me for. Like, I want to understand it and fulfill that, and hopefully I'm doing a decent job at it.
Yeah, nah, you like, your energy is always just beautiful soul, man, for real. Every interaction. How do you know when your phones stop? How do you know if one of them stops recording on accident? Because I remember sitting down and filming a 30-minute fucking I was so mad, bro. Has that ever happened to you?
Yes. Yes. 100%.
I was filming a 30-minute video for one of our reaction videos, and then I get up, and then it says, look at my phone, and it says, no more storage space. It stopped recording like 2 minutes in.
Yep. So that happened with that one. That's my and I got that phone specifically to use video stuff. But so that's why I think redundancies is solid. You know what I'm saying? So having 2 different cameras, the most of the stuff that I do is audio, so I'm recording video and audio, but then we're also recording audio. So I just redundancies, bro. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So like, oh my gosh, if the video went out on this one, I still got video from that one.
Facts.
And then we're gonna be talking about, we're gonna get into some stuff. I don't know, we had to do like a part 2 to this, but talking about some of the other tools that I use for video streaming and video capture. Yeah. That's done in such a way where I can literally, if something happens, I can see where it's happening because of the way my setup is.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Interesting. You should definitely talk about that at some point, because like, I look for that type of information.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of people talking about it like that.
Yeah.
I swear. Like, try to look it up. Like, try to look up like stream. There's people probably out there that's starting to talk about it now, but like, it's very hard. Like, it's very hard to like find the information on how you just live stream, sit up in front of your computer with the webcam, and then just talk about things. And you know what I'm saying, the way I do it is so tedious. Like, I record to my mic to my Pro Tools to bounce out the vocals, pull the video up on Premiere, match the vocals up with the video, bounce that out. Now I go back and edit it because like some of my reactions, it's not me just like it's all freestyle off the top of the head, but there's a lot of it. So I'm like stumbling and stuttering and saying things over, saying it twice, cut out all that, match it up, make it look like I said it right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, and then put it out. But there's ways to do that, which is like that, like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And so the way that, like, if people watch any of my videos, you see that, like, there's no cuts in my video because
that's where I love that.
Yeah,
you gotta be great.
And there's two reasons. There's a couple of reasons for that, and some of it is I mean, and I can just let you know, even when I whether it was really when I started podcast, that came out of me doing radio, and radio was live. Like, I am absolutely live. And so when I decided I was going to start doing recorded interviews, I always said, I'm not taking out the ums, I'm not taking out the awkward pauses, because for me, anything that you see from DJ Klyph Productions in terms of recorded content, it's literally just me having a conversation with somebody, and there happen to be microphones on, and now there happen to be cameras on.
Facts.
So I want it to feel very real, very authentic. So I don't do a lot of cuts. So I'll just tell you the way that I do my joints though is I run my audio is always first. So I run my audio into some sort of a capture device, and so I have the Rodecaster. So I run my audio into the Rodecaster.
About the Rodecaster.
That's one right there.
Where?
Right there. That's a Rodecaster right here.
This is the Rodecaster?
Yep.
So you could just hit
that's
that
the first
sound effect.
Yep.
Boom, boom.
Yep. 4 channels right there. You got four inputs.
Right,
bro, I'm telling you, bro. So I run my audio into a Rodecaster, and then I go out of my Rodecaster into my video capture situation, right? So then I have my camera capturing the video, but the audio is coming through the Rodecaster, so my audio is always solid because it's coming out of that.
So the Rodecaster is already mixing it.
Yeah. So I can set that up that way, and so then I'm currently using Restream. I go into OBS, out of OBS into Restream. Another one that I've messed with is StreamYard, and another one. The first one that I started messing with was Ecamm, which I love. But I'm not a wealthy man, and so I had to say,
Does
okay,
that cost
Ecamm,
money? How much it cost?
Bruh, Ecamm was, I don't even want to misquote it, but it was more money than I could afford. but the features on
like a
Ecamm,
monthly type thing, or like
you could do a monthly, or you could pay for a year.
Okay.
I want to say almost, I don't even remember. I don't want to misquote it.
Okay.
It's a great product. I just can't afford it. And OBS is open software, so it's free. And then I record my video and that audio that's going in. I can record it into OBS, and then I can just download the video. And if you want to edit it, you're editing, like, you don't have to sync anything up. It's because you recorded the audio and video at the same time. And then I use Restream. So with Restream Studio, it's similar. I can record into Restream Studio, download it, and then edit it. But the thing that I like about Restream is when I do the Saturday night radio show, I'm streaming out to everywhere. So now it's going live, but then I still have the recorded joint if I want to use it for something else.
Right. That is. He doesn't figure that shit out, man.
Yeah. But a lot of it's been, bro, again, I've been doing it for a minute. So a lot of it's been trial and error. A lot of it's been just going down the YouTube rabbit hole, having conversations, talking to people. But yeah, bro, no, I so love what you're doing, and I definitely want to try to provide.
Yeah, I'm
things that I've
definitely
learned
hitting you
from.
up and asking you about the Rodecaster, because somebody was telling me about it not too long ago, actually.
Yeah, man.
It's funny that I'm sitting in front of one right now.
Bruh,
That's crazy. I've been talking about it.
We rocking the road. We rocking the Rode wireless go-to joints. This is Rode right here.
This is?
The software is Rode. Yo, Rode, I need that sponsorship, Rode. Come on.
For real. Yeah, clip this up. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But yeah, man. Yeah, that's how I do it.
Yeah, that's tight.
Yeah.
That's tight. Is Rode just now getting popular? Or has it always been like a?
Nah, they've been known for their microphones. When I was first introduced to them, I bought a Rode. They have a Rode. I can't remember the name of it, but it's for a microphone for like that you just put on top of your camera, like your old school DSLR camera. So they've been known for their microphones for a minute. But they just released a whole new line of joints, bro, and they released a unit specifically for streaming. That you could, it's a built-in capture card, and so, and then they actually just also released a mini version of the Rodecaster. So instead of it being 4 mic inputs, it's 2 mic inputs. So if you don't need as many mic inputs, you have a little smaller unit, a little smaller desktop space.
Right.
They dope.
Yeah, that's raw. That's
Yeah.
raw. How much do a Rodecaster cost nowadays?
I think that one is the new one. I think is somewhere between 4 and 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna get one.
Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely worth it. I would highly recommend them, bro. I beat it. We can get up out of here, man. But thank you so much for hitting me, man. Letting me know you was coming into town.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
It's been like you said, it's been way too long. Next time we can't be waiting whatever it's been 3 years.
I know, right?
Yeah,
we should do it regularly. Like we should do like a regular thing,
Bruh, I'm telling you, the way that I got my situation set up right now, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We could do that. We could do that virtual, which I'm loving doing. Shout out to DJ House Shoes. I know House Shoes, we talked about doing that. I want to do that with you as well, but definitely want to continue to support you and the journey that you're on, bro, and the energy that you're wanting to put out there, man. Like that's what I'm about. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's definitely do it.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I'm definitely in a different space now. Like all that beef stuff is just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, and there's one thing. It's like, there was one time where I was in Portland. I was still in Portland, and I was saying a bunch of wild stuff on Twitter, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like disrespected, like women. I just want to apologize to Portland for like what I was saying about a specific woman who's in the music scene in Portland, Beth. You know, we got into this huge thing on Twitter, and like I looked back at it, definitely deleted it all.
And dude said,
right, definitely deleted all.
Right.
And then I was like, I felt so disgusted with myself. Like, damn, that's like I almost wanted to cry. Like, dang, like how could I say that to somebody? Mm-hmm. And it's like I just don't want to carry myself like that, and this is not. That's not me. That's not me. I'm a loving type of guy. I'm friendly. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I just want to thank you for giving me the platform to always like be real no matter what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Because there was times where it was like you had to nudge me like, yo, Vinny, get back focused and like think about it like this. But it was like I wasn't there yet mentally. Everybody has to go through something and like experience things. Like it's funny because even like the things I said about Ilmac in that interview that we did, I said it from an angle where it's like I feel like what I was saying, but also he's been a role model to me since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? So he has a perspective, and he's seen so much. So like anything that he says to me, I should take it as like wisdom or mentorship. Like just like maybe a year ago, he had said something to me. And I didn't listen to that advice, and I like kind of learned the hard way, and I kind of like was just mad at the time, and I said some things to him that wasn't cool, and I just don't want to carry myself like that, man. And I'm like, I'm open enough to own up to where I make mistakes.
Yeah.
To the point where some people in Portland would be like, nah, we can't bring Vinny around here because there's this energy that comes with him. And it's like I've owned up and I've like noticed that wasn't right. And it's all love, man.
That's what's up,
I love
bro.
Portland, man. I love Portland for real.
That's what's up, bro. I just want to share this with you, bro. It's something that I read, and I'm gonna misquote it. I think I read it being attributed to Maya Angelou, and it was something. I'm gonna paraphrase. It was something to the fact of some people grow old and some people grow up, and I feel like I know that that's what I aspire to do as I continue to spend time on this planet. I don't want to just grow old. I want to grow up. You know what I mean? And for what you just described to me, that's what I'm hearing in you. You know what I'm saying? As you spend more time on the planet, you just growing up, bro. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes that can come across to people as being a slight, like you a kid and now no, it's just life is about lifelong learning. You know what I mean? It's about having experiences and saying, how does that experience influence me, and how am I going to influence my circle of influence by that experience? That's continuing to try to be better, continuing to try to do better. And that's what I'm hearing in you, bro. And so big ups to you for seeing life differently now as you've experienced more.
Yeah, no, that's really, you said it perfectly. You said it perfectly. Like that's it. And I don't think that even though I'm doing like the YouTube thing and the YouTube Shorts thing and like posting content on there, I don't have it all figured out either. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still stressed out and trying to eating hot shit that I don't need to eat. Trying to figure out what's gonna work, what's not working.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? Trying to create content and trying to stay, because the algorithm is tricky. You could be hot one week and then they'll send the whole audience to another group of people.
Yeah.
And you can have 100,000 subscribers and your video only gets 200 views because you're not catering to your demographics. You know what I'm saying? Or your people didn't come specifically for you. They came just to learn that tool that you talked about.
Right.
And now they're on to, they didn't want to know you personally. Now they're on to the next. Now I'm learning, try to get people into me and into my world. And so I don't know, have all this shit figured out. Yeah. I think YouTube and that plaque thing, well, I don't want to say this because then I'm like, I don't own it. But I think it's a psychological game. You know what I'm saying? It's like the blue check. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, 100%. And then because, and it's all by design, right? If I send you a plaque and you talk about the fact that you got this plaque, more people gonna tap in and try to do. You know what I mean? And you know, regardless of what we say, and I said this in my Everything is Copacetic podcast, I think, you know, everybody wants to attaboy. Everybody wants to pat on the back. Everybody wants to feel seen and recognized and loved. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as it's coming from a healthy space.
Right.
When it's not coming from a healthy space, that's when it becomes a problem, because then it's you a fiend. Like I'm trying to get that next high. I'm trying to get that next high.
So real.
Right? And then I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get that. Oh, what is everybody on now? Okay, let me try to one up it. And the sad part is, bro, like every day we see a story of this influencer died because they tried to do some craziness because it's the new hot thing. Come on, man.
Yeah, nah, absolutely. And then when they can't get that high back from feeling validated, they turn to drugs, and then they get very high on drugs for a very long time. Like when that's another conversation.
Word.
Yeah, I was gonna go down the whole thing.
Like I said, bro, we definitely gonna work on. We gonna get a schedule going, bro. We definitely gonna continue to tap in and just have these real conversations and just make. You know, I think it's important to leave footsteps and whatever we touch, have it be better than the way that we found it. So that's the plan.
Yeah, definitely.
Word up. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tapping into this, man. Vinnie Dewayne.
How your bones feel, man?
DJ Klyph, man. This is another DJ Klyph production. Until next time, y'all be blessed.
Oh,
Peace.
one more thing. I'm gonna go do. I saw you sit down with Jimbo.
Word. You gotta do Cross the Street. Yeah, that's my peoples, yo. Yeah. Word up.
That's right.
Word up, man. Look for that interview. And if you haven't yet, man, definitely tap in with Cross the Street Portland, man. The stuff that they're doing is beautiful. Really, really showing the beauty of this city, man. All right, y'all. We out. Peace.